Hi everyone, I'm Carina de Jesus, and I define myself like a shy person because I'm having a hard time speaking toward people, and I'm having a hard time to self-disclose. So this class is a practice for me to practice my communication skills and social skills. As my parents said, I'm having a hard time socializing to the outside world, so I need to practice. So an example of this is, like, I have a question, like in class, so I'm having a hard time approaching my professor, asking the question, and I look down, so I refuse to ask. Or asking for clarification that I don't understand from a specific topic from class. So this characteristic of mine is important because I appear to be trustworthy towards other people. Like, I'm not the first person to tell my accomplishments or achievements like towards my family or my friends or my relatives. Next, I'm capable of overcoming life's difficulties. Like, I'm having time struggling with shyness that give me the meaning to enter difficult feelings. So I'm not very open to my emotions or feelings in life. So I kept it to myself. And lastly, I can experience rewards fully because the more reward I receive, it can be like extrinsic, like trophies, or intrinsic rewards, like praises from my family or friends, from anything that I did good. And because of those, I'm more determined to achieve my goals or accomplish in life. The second one is kindness. I'm very kind. Like, whenever I see a person who are in need, like poor people or senior citizens, elderly that needs help, I have the feeling of going toward to that person and help them, like giving them food or water, especially like the homeless in here in downtown, especially like Father Joe's, like helping people who are needing here. So an example of that is during my high school junior year as well, I helped my fellow schoolmates planting trees, like in the nearest park, in our volunteer club. And the duties I do is like passing out gardening tools or carrying soil packs to them. And another example of that is when my grandma was sick, like she was having a hard time like enduring the pain. So I went to her house, and I cook her food and guiding her as she walks carefully with her walker, just to make sure that she won't fall down, and and she won't fall down, and so I can guide the driver to where she's supposed to be. And this characteristic is important because from the people's point of view, I have to be a good example in the society towards people who are in need. And yeah, the third one is I'm kind of like a funny person, especially in my family. When I'm in my house or in my family, I used to be like weird and funny person just to brighten up the mood. Example of this is like doing silly faces towards someone in my family is sad, and telling a silly joke, because for me, I don't like people who are getting sad or lonely in my family, or also other people as well, because we all need happiness in this world. So we need to think positive and be happy all the time. And this characteristic is important because I view myself as a person who makes people give laughter that makes them happy. And yeah, I'm a very impatient person. Like in our phones, like there's something like loading something like a video, I get very annoyed or stressed out because I don't know when it's gonna take this, like because it's taking forever. Like I'm thinking myself, when is this going to end? Like when is this going to play? So and also an example of this is when I wait for something, I get stressed out or I get annoyed. And this characteristic is important because it helps me learn how to be a patient person. Being a patient person is important because whenever you wait for something, it's gonna give you like what you really need. And yeah, what you really need. Okay. And lastly, my last characteristic that I defined is I'm a very hardworking person. As a student, I'm a hardworking person. Like I study hard as in all of my classes, and especially in my exams, so that I can get good grades. I usually do this, especially like in the school library or at home, because I'm pretty much focused when in a quiet area, and when there's no distractions. And this characteristic of mine is important because it helps me achieve my goals and accomplishments. All of my characteristics that I've talked to are tied into self-concept by perceiving myself who am I as an individual and also from other people's perspectives. And in conclusion, the characteristic ties also into self-concept on how I see myself, and also it evaluates my self-esteem or self-confidence in regards to communication towards people.